We all know about the brands like Jaguar, Land Rover, Aston Martin, and Volvo, but did you know that they were owned by Ford under the Premier Automotive Group? The Premier Automotive Group (PAG) was an organizational division within the Ford Motor Company formed in 1999 to oversee the business operations of Ford's high-end automotive marques. The PAG then was gradually dismantled from 2006 to 2011 with the diversity of its constituent brands. Let's see what went wrong with the Ford's plan to disrupt the luxury car market with the Premier Automotive Group. The Premier Automotive Group was formed in 1999 under the then CEO Jackie Snasser. It grew to include responsibility for Lincoln, Mercury, Aston Martin, JLR, and Volvo brands. Forbes estimated by 2004, Ford had spent $17 billion building on acquisitions to form the PAG. The brands Lincoln and Mercury were returned to Ford direct control in 2002. Lincoln's headquarters had been merged into PAG's headquarters in North American office, where it was run by a German executive who was based in London, England. The four marques in the PAG, Aston Martin, Jaguar, Land Rover, and Volvo, were essentially completely different car companies with their own unique markets and dealer networks. So there were a few synergies that could be achieved by combining them under one division. Ford attempted to push these brands to share parts and engineering in order to cut costs. These made some vehicles too similar to mass market Fords, notably the Jaguar X-Type, which was a capable compact executive car, yet its reputation suffered mainly because it shared a platform with the Ford Mondeo. While Volvo had been one of the most successful entry-level luxury brands in the United States with the Volvo 740, 940 and S70 when it was independent, it lost market to the German luxury marques like BMW, Mercedes-Benz and Audi, who had expanded their entry-level offerings extensively. The Premier Automotive Group headquarters were located at One Premier Place in Irvine, California. It is next door to the Mazda North American Operations Office and is now the main office for Taco Bell. The Premier Automotive Group office in the United States was completed in 2001 at a cost of $68 million. It was the first Ford building and the first building in Orange County to qualify for leadership in energy and environmental design classification from the US Green Building Council. When the headquarters first opened, some of its floors were each specifically dedicated to one of PG's brands. The complex also included separate 90,000 square feet product development center. In late 2008, a deal was announced to lease the former PAG headquarters building in Irvine to the Taco Bell restaurant chain. Although Ford planned to leave a small product development staff on the property, this was widely seen as the end of PAG's story and an ironic comment on the expensive failure of Ford's luxury car strategy. Aston Martin was a member of PAG. Ford acquired an interest in Aston Martin in 1987 and had full control from 1991. It was sold on 12th March 2007 for €479 million. However, Ford had retained a $40 million or 8% stake in the Aston Martin. A consortium led by ProDrive chairman David Richards had purchased Aston Martin from the Ford Motor Company. Ford's luxury car division Lincoln was a part of the Premier Automotive Group in the late 1990s but was pulled out in 2002 as a part of Ford's marketing strategy to separate its import marques from its domestic ones. During the creation of PAG, Lincoln's lineup received a complete overhaul beginning with the 1998 redesigning of the Lincoln Town Car. The same year also saw the introduction of the Lincoln Navigator SUV in 2000. The Lincoln LS, which was shared its engine and platform with the Jaguar S-Type, was introduced. All three cars were designed in Irvine, California and were, according to many critics, heavily influenced by Jaguar design themes. In both years 1998 and 2000, Lincoln was the best-selling luxury car brand in the US. After Cadillac surged back into the market in 2002, however, Ford pulled Lincoln out of the PAG in what, according to Jerry Flint to Forbes magazine, an impossible to make sense out of strategy. Ford had made an offer for Jaguar stock in 1989. It was placed in the Premier Automotive Group when it was formed. After acquiring Land Rover, Ford merged Jaguar and Land Rover to make JLR and then eventually sold them to our Tatas in 2008. Ford acquired Land Rover from BMW in 2000 after the breakup of the former Rover group. On 18 September 2006, Ford announced the purchase of the rights to use the Rover name. BMW had licensed over the Rover name to MG Rover from 2000 until 2005, when MG Rover collapsed after a failed merger with SAIC. As a part of Ford's initial purchase of Land Rover, Ford had the first option to purchase the Rover name if MG Rover Group collapsed, ceased trading. Ford did not plan to use the name in production, instead buying it merely to protect their use of the name Land Rover. Ford sold Jaguar Land Rover to the Tata Motors in March 2008 for 1.15 billion euros as part of Ford's sale figure of JLR to Tata Motors. The defunct Rover brand name was included as well as the Daimler and Lanchester marks. Ford acquired Volvo's automotive division in 1999, while Volvo's commercial vehicle division became a separate company. Both share the use of symbols and trademarks. Geely was reported to have approached Ford in 2008 about a possible takeover of Volvo cars. On 28 October 2009, Geely was named as the preferred buyer for the Volvo cars by Ford. On 23 December 2009, Ford confirmed that all substantive commercial terms for the sale of to Geely had been settled. Geely signed a deal with Ford to acquire Volvo cars for $1.8 billion on 28 March 2010 and closed the deal on 2 August 2010. When Alan Mulally became Ford president and CEO in September 2006, the Premier Automotive Group began to be dismantled. Ford sold 92% of Aston Martin to a consortium of investors headed by David Richards in 2007. In September of 2006, the rights to use the defunct Rover brand was secured from BMW to buy Ford to protect the name of Land Rover brand. In March 2008, Ford sold Jaguar and Land Rover to Tata Motors. In 2010, Ford sold the Swedish brand Volvo cars to the last of the PAG, with the parent company Chinese maker Geely for $1.8 billion. The downfall of PAG is just a management blunder. All the companies used each other's employees and technology, which many other groups like Volkswagen and Stellantis do, but they don't kill one brand's USP like Ford did with Aston Martin. Aston Martin's key selling point was the looks, but the Jaguar XK and the Aston Martin V8 Vantage had the same designer Ian Killam. The design was too similar to not to choose the Jaguar. This killed the appeal to buy the Aston in front of the Jaguar. Despite Ford spending an estimate $17 billion, but they failed in capturing the luxury car segment anywhere, neither Europe nor the USA. Now, we have come to the end of the video and I hope you all must have learned something valuable today in this video. Thank you for watching.